Good morning, everyone. Let me start by recognizing one of our great partners, and here today representing Hillsborough County Fire Rescue is Chief Donald Lynn.
Thank you.
Chief Lynn, thanks for being here this morning. Today we're talking about an issue that impacts communities all over the country. And yes, right here in Hillsborough County, and I'm talking about drug addiction. Sadly, we see all too often the heartbreaking impact drug addiction has on our families, our children, and our communities. And too many times people are killed by these drugs before they're able to get that counseling and treatment they need to become healthy. To put it simply, we need to be doing everything we can to reduce the number of drug-related deaths. Today I'm announcing that all of our patrol deputies and a number of our specialty units like K-9, crime scene, and court services will now be equipped with Narcan. Through this widespread deployment, we can quickly deliver this life-saving medicine to individuals who have overdosed. While Narcan has been available in limited capacities through our patrol supervisors, this year we requested even more doses, and we were approved for 1,100 kits, which amounts to 2,300 doses of Narcan. This is in addition to the 3,800 doses of Narcan our partners at Hillsborough County Fire Rescue were approved for. These Narcan doses are made possible by a grant from the Florida Department of Health HEROES program. It's hard to put into words how powerful this medicine is and how rapidly it can reverse the effects of opioid overdoses. It's astonishing. Many times our deputies are the first to arrive on scene, and having the ability to deliver Narcan will save even more lives. We have seen firsthand instances where a victim was overdosing, their heart was not beating, and after administering this medicine, reversal effects to the overdose were quickly recognizable. And in some cases, the individual was even able to stand up and walk into the rescue car. Many times when a person overdoses, it's a rock bottom moment and can be the wake-up call they need to finally get the help that's available to them to break free from the grasp of drug addiction. Think about it for a minute. Just how devastating drug addiction is for the individual, their families, and our entire community. Addiction in many cases is propagated by individuals who are exclusively focused on the profit motive of their illicit activities. And we're not talking about trained chemists or pharmaceutical grade medications. In fact, most of these dealers increase the supply by adding caustic, hazardous chemicals and other drugs like fentanyl, which can kill in the smallest of doses. We as a community must take steps to break the cycle of addiction and help those who are caught up in this deadly epidemic. And I'm hopeful that the additional doses of Narcan will save even more lives and result in treatment being sought by even more individuals. Not only is this medicine critical for drug overdose incidents, it can also be used to save the lives of our very own team members. In cases where a first responder or even a K-9 is secondarily exposed to a drug like fentanyl, doses of Narcan will be immediately available on scene to counter the effects of the exposure, thus saving the life of the deputy, our firefighter, or one of our own K-9s. When it comes to the fight against opioids, I know it's going to be a multi-pronged approach. It's going to take education and awareness. It's going to take treatment, and it's going to take enforcement. Expanding the deployment of Narcan increases our capabilities of saving lives. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is committed to helping those addicted to drugs. As many of you know, we have a drug amnesty program that allows anyone voluntarily seeking drug addiction treatment to drop off their drugs, no questions asked, at any of our facilities. Not only will we take and safely destroy these voluntary relinquished drugs, the Sheriff's Office will arrange transportation to a drug treatment facility for that addicted individual. Lastly, I want to send a message to our community. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug addiction, please reach out for help. Our community is fortunate to have a tremendous amount of amazing resources available to those seeking help. Now I'd like to invite Rescue Chief Lynn to say a few words. Chief?
Thank you, Sheriff. I'd just like to reiterate what Sheriff Chronister said. Many years in the field, I've witnessed this medication work firsthand, and it has saved countless of lives over the years. And this allotment from the state of Florida will continue to allow us to do that. So, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be here. And there you go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. At this time, myself or the Chief are available for any type of question. We did that good of a job, huh? I would like to mention that even with the limited capacity we have had over the last year, we've deployed Narcan 48 times. And out of the 48 times, 43 of those times we've been successful in reversing the overdose. Unfortunately, there were 2 individuals who were pronounced deceased at the scene, and the other 3 instances, they were not suffering from an opioid addiction. They overdosed from something else. This only works on opioids, and there's a long list of drugs that fall under that category.
How bad of a problem do we have in the county?
We certainly have a problem. Even fire rescue has seen a number of increases in deploying Narcan. I was looking at the latest statistics. The good news is from last year to this year, the number of overdose-related deaths has dropped. Now that could be related to that we are now equipped with Narcan and now going to have even more availability when you're talking about Narcan resources. But drug-related, overdose-related deaths are actually down this year, quite significantly. So that's good news. We're saving more lives.
Everyone will be trained on using it?
Yes, everyone will be trained. Matter of fact, by Friday, all of our entire deployment of Narcan will be out at the district offices. There's a 15-minute video that our deputies, it's really easy. It's almost taken like a nasal spray. It used to be when it first came out, it was an injectable. Now it's so simple and convenient. It's a quick up each nostril. You deliver that dose, and the effects are amazing. It really is a miracle drug.
How much time does it take to recognize an OD patient for that to work on them?
From the time you recognize it, you know, when it comes to an overdose, every second counts. And when you recognize that there's an overdose, and our deputies are trained to do that, along with fire rescue, who's much more experts in the field of anything medical related, it only takes a second. When you see that they're not breathing, sometimes you can see some other additional symptoms. You can deploy this within seconds, and it takes moments for it to work. It truly is a miracle drug. Yeah, by Friday, all of it will be deployed to our 5 patrol districts. Like I said, the deputies will be required to watch a quick 15-minute video, sign it, and receive their Narcan, and that's as easy, as simple, and convenient as it is. By the weekend, our deputies will, I would hope by the end of next week, say, worst case scenario, everyone will be trained and be equipped with Narcan at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
Where will they carry it? On their belt? Where will it go?
I think a lot of them will keep it in a car, yes. One thing that Narcan is sensitive to is heat and sunlight. So try to keep it inside as cool as we can keep it to prolong the effectiveness of the drug. Keep it in the car, which they can just grab. They're normally not too far from their car.
Any other questions?
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Chief, thank you again.
Of course, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming out.
Say and spell your name.
Okay.